everybody. This is a short and sweet and simple vinyasa practice any time of day. All you need is a yoga mat. Please start lying down on your back with your feet closer to the front, your head closer to the back. And as you come down and lie on your back, bend your knees. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Knock your knees in. They just rest effortlessly on each other in the center. And place your hands down on your lower belly and close your eyes. And take a few breaths just to settle and place your awareness into the parts of you that are connected to the floor. So let the feet get super heavy. Allow the back of the pelvis to get heavy, the whole length of the spine, the back of the shoulders. Let the arms heavily weight down into the floor. Release the weight of the skull into the ground underneath the back of your head. And then allow the weight of your hands to be heavy on your belly. And with that little weight of your hands on your abdomen, exhale completely and let your abdomen get super soft. Release your abdominals. And as you breathe into a soft belly, let the belly rise up into the hands until you feel comfortably full. And then as you exhale, release also through your nose. Let the hands fall softly into the belly. You can keep your chest quiet. Do that again. Deep belly breath in. Lower belly expands and rises up into the hands. And then exhale. Everything gets soft. Every part of you connected to the floor sinks more heavily into the floor. One more time, just breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now that breathing pattern doesn't stop. That stays with you as you layer on movements. That is the foundation of a vinyasa practice. So keeping this steady rhythm of breath going. Bring your feet to hip width and parallel. Same with your knees. Bring your right knee in towards your chest and grab hold of the front of your right shin in your hands and pull the knee in. Option to stretch your left leg forward in front of you. And then move the right leg side to side. So investigate the knee going closer to the right shoulder. Investigate the knee almost crossing the midline. You can cross the midline a little bit. Just keep the back of the right hip on the floor. And then roll over this little range and really find an interesting range for you of what do you need right now? Is it more interesting for the knee to be wide? Is it more interesting? I really dig it as you take it a little bit across the center. And then bring it back to the normal position of the right thigh and the right belly being connected, and switch the grip. Hold the back of your right thigh instead and straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex the ankle and use the hands as a boundary. Push the leg forward really strongly into your hands. Start to circle your right ankle and go as big as you possibly can with your circles. So find your end range of rotation in your ankle. Go the other way. Multitasking here, so keep pushing the thigh forward into the hands. And then bring the ankle to center. Your bottom knee, your left knee, bend it so the left foot comes to the floor. Take a figure 4 position, right ankle over left knee, and cactus your arms to the side. Flex your right ankle and move your right knee forward towards the front of your mat. Rock your lower body side to side. So the upper body stays the same, but the lower body starts to tip over to the right and over to the left. Now when it goes to the left the next time, land the sole of the right foot down. Keep the right knee pointing up and slip your left hand down. Grab hold of your right ankle. You might even pull it a little closer in towards you. Take your right arm up in line with your ear. So reach your right arm past the back of your mat as your whole right thigh tries to go to the front of your mat. There's a little tug of war going on between your left hand and your right ankle. So pull with your hand but resist with your whole right shin. Heavy the back of your right shoulder, the back of your right hip. And then slip your right arm back to cactus. Let go with your left hand. Bring your figure 4 back up and take half happy baby with your right leg. You can grab your thigh, your shin, your foot, doesn't matter. Tip your left knee out to the left and then rock a little bit. So finding a little bit more motion in these first postures of rolling around a little bit. Try to keep your bum on the floor and your head on the floor as you rock. And then as you come back to the center, land both of your feet back on the floor, hip width and parallel. Sneak your left knee into your chest, grab the front of your shin, and slide your right leg forward in front of you if you did on the first side. And then find different angles with your left leg. Move it around. If you find a spot that's particularly interesting, you're welcome to stay in it. And then switch your grip, hold the back of your thigh and work your leg in the direction of straight. Push the leg forward into the boundary of the hands and circle your left ankle. Other way. And then ankle to center, bend the bottom knee, the right knee, land the sole of the right foot, do figure 4 with cactus arms, and start to rock the lower body side to side. The next time the lower body rocks to the right, land the sole of the left foot, sneak the right hand down to grab the ankle, take the left arm back, reach it as far back behind you as you can. And then here's the actions. Right hand pulls on the left ankle. The whole left leg really resists. It's trying to get away. And as the left leg moves towards the front of the mat, reach the left waist and the left arm to the back of the mat as if you were being pulled into. Twist the ribs a little left to the back of the left shoulder and the back of the left hip get heavy. And then slip your left arm back down to cactus. Release with your right hand. Bring your figure 4 shape back in. Half happy baby with your left leg. The right knee just tips out to the right. You hold wherever it makes sense for you. If holding your foot, rock side to side. If holding your left foot brings your bum up and or your head up, then hold your shin or your thigh instead. Come back to the center, land both of your feet. Bring your thighs in towards your chest, grab the backs of your thighs and start to roll yourself forward and back. Get a little bit of momentum going so that the next time you rock up, you can cross at your shins or your ankles, land your hands and come to your hands and your knees into a tabletop position. As you breathe in, back bend. Start with your tailbone and let a back bend travel all the way through the length of your spine, head lifts last. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under and round the whole length of your back. Shin comes in last. Do that again. From your tailbone, initiate the movement and inhale all the way into cow pose. Pull your hands back as your heart goes forward and your head lifts. And then exhale and round. Pull the hands and the knees like magnets towards the middle as you look towards your navel. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then come to neutral spine on your breath in. Tuck your toes, hover your knees just an inch off the floor. My favorite way to get the abdominals warmed up. So on your hands and your knees, but knees just hovering over the floor. Pull your hands and your hovering knees towards each other like magnets until you feel the whole circumference of your torso shrink wrap in and support you. And then keep all that strength in the abdominals as you take your right leg back into a plank pose and your left leg back. Now you can keep your knees up, or I'll suggest this first one, tap your knees down into a kneeling plank. Shift forward on your inhale breath and lower as you exhale all the way to the floor. Point your toes, make your legs longer, so reach them back one at a time. Push your feet down, straighten your knees. Press your pubic bone down, drag it forward till your lower belly lifts up to your lower back. Keep all those things, hover your hands, and lift your chest up. Just using the strength of your back to lift you higher. Now keep your back turned on as you touch the floor with your palms and pull the hands backwards as if you were trying to drag yourself forwards. One more breath in. Push into your hands as you exhale, hips to heels, or as close as they'll get without your hands moving. Rock forward on your inhale, bring your shoulders over your wrists, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Have at least a little lift to your heels. Same thing, at least a little bend to your knees, if not a big one. And as you push your hands forward and down, lift your sitting bones back and up and stretch yourself as long as you can from your hands to your seat. And if you can keep all of that lift and keep the sweet little curve in your lower back, work your legs farther back and farther up, and perhaps the legs begin to work in the direction of straight. And slowly walk your feet forward all the way up towards your hands. Keep the feet hip width apart so they're driving in their own lanes all the way up there. Fold down, get your belly right to your thighs. That means for a lot of you bending your knees significantly. Now on your breath in, come to a halfway lift where you take all around Tilt the chest forward, and as you exhale, fold down, belly and thighs touch again. Again, inhale, lengthen, thighs back, heart forward, and exhale, fold. Halfway again as you breathe in, stay there, put your hands on your hips as you exhale, and stand as you breathe in. Release your arms down by your sides as you breathe out. Now reach up on your inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Forward fold as you exhale, bring your fingertips to the floor. Take a halfway lift on your breath in. And step your left foot back as you exhale to a long lunge. Look forward. Make sure your hips are in the middle, but your legs are on their own side. So feet on train tracks. Now as you pull your front foot and your front thigh backwards, do the opposite with your back leg. So pull your left foot and your left thigh forwards. Extend your spine really long out in front of you, and then add a twist and reach your right arm up towards the sky. Keep the same actions in your legs, the same length in your spine as you start to rotate. Your left ribs more under you, your right ribs more behind you. You can even gaze up past your right hand. Take one more inhale breath. As you exhale, lower your right fingertips to the floor and work your right leg as straight as it'll go without moving your feet. And pull your foot energetically backwards so it feels like the root of the right thigh is drawing backwards. The outer right hip is coming in as the outer left hip wraps forward. On your next breath in, bend your front knee back to a lunge. Set your hands and step to a plank pose as you breathe out. Knees can be up or down, breathe in. Lower yourself to the floor as you breathe out. Point your toes, and as you find cobra, inhale, use your back strength and the pulling of your hands backwards. Hips to heels as you exhale, child's pose, but leave your hands where they are. Rock forward through hands and knees. Breathe in, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, breathe out. Now see how slowly you can lift your right leg. So watch it rise, and as it goes up, keep your right toes and your right knee pointing straight down towards the floor. That'll tell you that your hips are square. Lift the leg as high as you possibly can. Another breath in. Step all the way inside your right thumb. Tap your back knee down, point your back foot, and rise up Anjaneyasana. The same hugging of the base to center. Pull the front foot and the back shin towards each other. And as you keep that pulling, rise up. Cactus your arms on an exhale wide to the side. And as you angle your forearms back, angle your chest more upwards. And think of this back bend really starting in your back shin. As the back shin pulls forward and the front of the hips rise, the heart goes up, head goes up, perhaps even a little back. Straighten your arms up as you breathe in. Lower your fingertips and breathe out. Now tuck your back toes, straighten your back leg on your inhale, look forward, and step forward as you exhale to a hip width fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Forward fold and exhale. Rise to stand, roll or hinge, breathe in, lift your arms up. Pull your hands through your heart as you exhale and return them down by your sides. Reach up, breathe in. Fold in half and breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Right foot back, breathe out. Find a lunge. Pelvis in the center, feet a little wider, hands a little wider, chest forward. Now keep the same feeling of front thigh pulling back, back thigh pulling forward, spine going long as you layer on a twist. Sweep your left arm up towards the sky. And the temptation is always to twist from the pelvis, so can you keep the right thigh going up and turn more from the ribs, perhaps even stack the shoulders and take the gaze up, look past your hand. Keep your shoulders drawn away from your ears as you reach both arms into the biggest wingspan that you can. Another inhale. As you lower left fingertips, work the left leg in the direction of straight. Certainly doesn't matter if the front leg gets to straight. Pull the base together, front foot, front thigh, pulling energetically back until your hamstrings also working. On your inhale, bend your front knee to a lunge. Plank pose. Eventually that sound of the foot dragging back goes away as you just pluck the foot up. Shift forward on your inhale. Lower slowly as you exhale. Point your toes, cobra pose, inhale. Hips to heels, exhale. Hands and knees, breathe in. Tuck your toes, toes, downward dog, breathe out. Watch your left leg go slow and steady. As it floats up, nothing else changes. The right hip stays in place. Gaze at your left knee, left toes, make sure they're pointing down. Keep both of your elbows straight, push through both hands. Another breath in, higher with the leg. Step to your left thumb as you breathe out. Tap your back knee down, point your back toes and rise, Anjaneyasana. Back shin pulls forward as the front foot pulls back. And even as you bend deeper into the front knee, keep it about a rise. Back shin forward, front of the hips up, rib basket up, arms up, even gaze up, perhaps you arc back. Back bend, one big arc, the whole body is involved. One more in-breath. Fingers to the floor as you exhale. Straighten just your back leg on your breath in and look ahead where you're going. Step forward and fold and breathe out. A halfway lift, breathe in. Fold down and breathe out. Rise to stand on your inhale breath. Hands through your heart, exhale and down by your sides. Same postures, reach up, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Left foot back, exhale, lunge. Look forward, twist, right arm up, breathe in. Twist a little farther as you breathe out. Look up, one more inhale. Right fingertips down as you exhale and straighten your right leg. Fold. Now stay there but take a halfway lift with straight legs. Breathe in. Fold and breathe out. Now bend your front knee as you inhale. Land your hands, plank pose. Exhale, hold plank. Pull hands and feet together, breathe in. Lower to the floor as you breathe out. Cobra pose, breathe in. Child's pose, breathe out. Hands and knees, inhale. Tuck your toes, down dog, exhale. Take your right leg in the air, breathe in, square, straight, still slow. Step forward, breathe out. Tap your back knee, point your toes, rise up, breathe in. Let's go cactus arms wide to the side as you breathe out. Lean your forearms back. Straighten your arms and breathe in. Lower your fingertips and breathe out. Step forward on this inhale right to a halfway lift. Fold forward and exhale. Roll up to standing as you breathe in. Sweep your arms up high. And then fold right back down as you exhale for the second side. Halfway lift, breathe in. Right foot back, exhale, lunge. Look forward and inhale, left arm up to a twist. Turn a little farther as you breathe out. Even put a little back bend in it, inhale. As you lower left fingertips, straighten your left leg, exhale and fold. Now keep your legs like this, do a halfway lift and breathe in. Fold and breathe out. Lunge on your inhale. Plank pose, quietly exhale. Hold plank. Inhale, shift forward. All the way to the floor. Breathe out. Cobra pose, inhale. Child's pose, exhale. Hands and knees, breathe in. Tuck your toes, downward dog, breathe out. Take your left leg up and inhale. Big step forward as you exhale. Lower your back knee, point the back toes, rise, breathe in. Cactus your arms as you breathe out, wide to the side and back bend. And go straight arms as you inhale, reach up and look up. Lower your fingertips and exhale. Step forward, halfway lift, breathe in. Keep the feet hip width, fold down and breathe out. Chair pose, bend your knees, reach your arms up, inhale. And then stay in chair but bring your hands to your heart and exhale. Keep the spine long as you angle it forward and up. Place the weight in your right foot as you lift your left heel. And then fly your left leg back in the air, passing through this warrior 3 variation. Land your left toes, stay angled forward, hook the left elbow outside the right knee, and twist yourself to the right. Now with the extra added leverage of the elbow on the outside of the knee, make sure the arm isn't overpowering the knee, so press the knee out, but use the leverage to turn yourself a little bit farther. Keep your back leg super straight and strong, unless you need the support of the back knee on the floor. Finish the breath cycle that you're on, so finish on the exhale. And on your inhale, unwind fingertips to the floor. This time as you straighten your legs, exhale, flip up onto your right heel. And on your right heel, drag the heel strongly back. Have a little softness to the back of the right knee. And think of really the whole right thigh bone pulling back as your spine tries to lengthen forward like you're doing a halfway lift, but stay perhaps low if you can. Then as you inhale, bend your front knee and step back to a plank pose. As you exhale, hold, take your feet together. Shift your right hand just a little bit forward of your shoulder. Keep it on the right side so that as your heels tip over to the right for side plank and your left arm goes up, your right wrist and your two ankles are on the same line. Gaze up if possible. Keep your hips stacked. Your left hip tends to fall behind, so get it right on top and push the floor with your right hand and your right foot and lift higher. Downward facing dog, reorganize your hands so that they're set right where you want them in your base. Shift forward on your inhale to a plank. This time, chaturanga, halfway down. You're always welcome to go to the floor. Upward dog or cobra. Take a breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take your right leg up and inhale. Big step to your right thumb. Exhale, high lunge this time. Keep your back knee lifted as you rise. Breathe in. As you cactus your arms, exhale, bend your back knee about halfway to the floor. Pull front foot and back foot together. Lift the bowl of the pelvis more upright. Lift the waist up. And as you lean the forearms back, curl the chest up. If you can work the back leg straighter without the front of the hip bones dropping, go right ahead. Then on your next breath in, straighten your arms and straighten your legs. Warrior two, spin your back heel down as you open your arms wide into a T. You'll probably have to lengthen your stance. Get your heels on the same line, so heel to heel alignment, and angle your back toes in slightly. Bend your front knee all the way to a square. Make your back legs super straight. Lift up through both sides of your waist and sharpen your two arms. As you slowly straighten your legs, shift your hips back and reach forward with your right arm. When you can't go any farther forward in your reach, take your right hand down to your shin and point your left arm up, T your arms, triangle pose. Now push your shin really strongly up into your hand. And you lengthen your bottom waist from your right hip crease to your right armpit, and then turn that bottom waist more up towards the ceiling as you look up past your left hand. Now as you look down, put your left hand on your left hip, bend your right knee, half moon pose. You can float in or take a few little steps. Right fingertips come to the floor out in front of your right pinky toe. Root your right inner foot, keep your right knee pointing dead ahead as your outer right hip turns back. And then turn your ribs more to the left. You can keep your gaze on the floor or turn the gaze. Perhaps you straighten your left arm up, just like triangle pose, but you've just only got one foot on the floor. Make again your bottom waist long, right hip crease to right armpit, and turn your gaze and look up. Then look down, bend both knees, curl into a little ball, and step into a forward fold hip width feet. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold down and breathe out. Then bend your knees, chair pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart as you exhale and just pause. Keep the spine long as it angles forward. As you transfer the weight into your left foot, lift your right heel and fly your right leg back in the air. As it goes straight back, your chest is counterweight forward. Now keep your chest angled forward as you bend your left knee more and find the ground with your right toes. Pause and then twist to your left. Hook your right arm outside your left knee. Make sure your left knee is pressing back into your arm as you use the leverage to spin the whole rib basket. Think heart towards your thumbs. Perhaps even gaze up over your left shoulder. Keep both of your shoulder blades down your back and think width across your collarbones. You'll finish the breath cycle you're on. So it'll be an inhale that unwinds your fingertips to the floor, and then both legs will straighten as you exhale and flip up onto your left heel. Dig your heel into the ground and pull it back. The whole left thigh bone, pull it back. And as you keep lifting sitting bones up, same feeling of down dog, lengthen the spine forward, and some of you even forward and down if you're quite flexible in your hamstrings. Then on an inhale, bend your left knee again. Step to a plank pose as you exhale. Take your feet together as you breathe in. Move your left hand a little forward of your shoulder as you exhale. Heels go left, side plank, reach your right arm up. Push the floor, lift away from the floor, reach your right arm up, perhaps you look up. Keep the hips facing the wall you can see. That'd be a tendency for your hips to want to face the ceiling, so bring the right hip more forward. Downward facing dog. Reorganize your two hands. Vinyasa is optional. If you're with me, inhale to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Float your left leg as you inhale, slowly, squarely behind you. Step forward as you exhale. High lunge, rise up, breathe in. As you cactus your arms, exhale, bend your back knee about halfway to the floor. Feet pull towards each other. Front of the hip bones rise as you send sitting bones down. Then angle your forearms backward as you curl your chest up. Feel free to keep your back knee bent or work it a little straighter as long as that doesn't dump you into your lower back's flexibility. And then use an inhale to straighten arms and legs. Warrior two as you exhale. Lengthen out your stance and take the time to organize your feet heel to heel. Back toes turned in just a bit. That means your outer right hip will come forward a little bit. So get right down into your legs, a straight back leg, a deeply bent front knee. Lift up through your spine. The whole really circumference of your trunk rises up. And as your arms reach longer, soften your shoulders. Straighten your legs as your hips go back. Reach as far forward as you can. Place the left hand on the left shin or ankle. Reach the right arm up. Whatever weight you're putting with your hand into your shin, just push back. As you keep your shoulders away from your ears, reach your two arms as wide as you can. Turn your ribs more up. Keep the back bend out of it, so pull the front ribs in, but take the whole torso back. Right hand to hip. Look down as you bend your left knee. Half moon. Take a step or two or float in. Left fingertips land in front of your left big toe out to the left. Straighten both of your legs. Turn your chest to the right. Perhaps the right arm reaches up. You might also look up to your right thumb. And then as you look down, bend both knees. Step into a forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold down and breathe out. Chair pose, inhale. Stand up, exhale, arms by your sides, pause. Close your eyes and you can leave your arms down or take your hands on your body or even place your hands at your heart. And as you release your arms down, heel toe your feet a little wider. Turn your toes out, heels in so that you can squat down. Bring your elbows inside your inner knees, hands close to your heart. Find as much length as you can in your back. So send your sitting bones back behind you as your heart goes forward in front of you, widen across your collarbones. Now lower your fingertips. Lift your hips just a little bit to the height of your knees and step your left foot all the way back. Land your left knee on the ground. Widen your right foot even more. You might need to bring it forward if it's behind your right hand. And with your right toes and your right knee angled out to the right, take your left hand out farther to the left and angle it out to the left. I like to point the back foot. Twist the right arm up and open to the right. Stay here, bend your back knee, and reach with your right hand for the outside of your foot. See if you can bring your heel and your bum close together. And if you can keep that, then you sink the hips a little lower. There's a little twist going on. There's even a little bit of a back bend. And without slingshotting, release your back foot. Come back onto your fingertips. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Step back into the squat, but keep the hips high. So hips stay in line with the knees, and then sneak the right knee back. Right foot back, lower the knee, point the foot. Widen the left foot, turn it out. Widen the right hand, turn it out. Twist to the left. Reach the arm up, bend the back knee if you did so on the first side. Grab the outside edge of the foot. Bring the heel and the bum close. Even think here, a little tuck of the tailbone to keep yourself out of an anterior tilt. As you lengthen the spine, turn and twist, back bend. And then release your foot. Come back to fingertips. Different this time, step back to down dog. From downward dog, shift forward to a plank pose. Lower yourself to the floor as you exhale. Take your right arm, point your toes first. Take your right arm out to the right into a T and then a little bit forward in the direction of a Y. Push the right hand down, lift the front of the right shoulder off the floor, and then look to your left, come onto your left fingertips. And as you roll over onto your right shoulder, walk your right arm away from you and bend your knees, pull your knees into your chest. If you have a block or a pillow to put under the right side of your head, it's a nice way to use a prop here. But important to keep the front of the right shoulder head off the floor. And stretch your legs out straight. Come on back to center. Bring your right arm in. Set your left arm wide. Start in a T. Walk it a little bit forward towards a Y. And as you push your palm down, lift the front of your left shoulder off the floor. In my way. Look to the right. Come onto right fingertips and roll yourself over onto your left shoulder. Bring your knees into your chest. And set your right hand wherever it's most useful to you. And lift the front of the left shoulder away from the floor. And then come on back to the center. Place your forehead on the ground and stretch your two arms back by your hips. Start with your palms facing down. Make your legs longer, lift one at a time, stretch the feet farther back. And then push the tops of the feet down, straighten the knees. Pubic bone down, pull it forward, lift the low belly to the lower back. Push the palms down, lift the front of the shoulder heads off the floor. And then lift your chest, your head, lift your arms. Option to lift your legs. Spin the palms to face in, but keep the collarbones wide. From here, you might stay or bend your knees. Deliver your ankles to your hands, down your asana. Kick your shins back. Lift your chest up. And see how slowly you can control your descent. So could you even stay up there, but release your ankles? Stay up but straighten your legs. Land your feet, one more inhale. Lower down as you exhale, make a pillow with your hands for your forehead. Shake your hips side to side. And just turn yourself over so you're on your back. Bend your knees, take your feet to the floor as wide as your mat. Slide your arms out into a loose cactus. And with your feet still as wide as your mat, drop both knees over to the right. And heavy the left inner knee. Some of you might prefer to take the right ankle as a little extra weight on the outside of your left thigh. But if that takes you any more into your lower back, either lengthen tailbone towards the back of the left knee more, or just forget the weight of the ankle on the knee. It's a-okay for this to be really subtle, not a big sensational pose, so no need to go chasing that. Got your ankle there, slip it off. Bring your knees back to the center. Have a moment in the center, a little pause. And then drop your knees over to the left. If you did on the other side, the left ankle comes on the outer right thigh. Heavy the right inner knee. Slip your ankle off, bring your knees back to the center. Make sure your hips are right in the middle of your mat. Bring your knees into your chest, grab one knee in each hand. As you draw the knees in, pull both knees wide towards their own shoulders. Keep this position, or take happy baby if you'd rather. You point your shins up and grab either thighs, shins, or feet. Keep the back long. Think about getting your head down and your bum down. If that's not doable, hold something other than your feet. Give your knees a little hug into your chest. Grab the fronts of your shins. Let your bum lift. You can bring your forehead in towards your knees. Round your whole back. And then release. Stretch your legs out long. Allow your feet to flop out wide to the side. Take your arms long by your sides. Have the backs of your hands off of your mat with your palms facing upwards. Give your shoulders a little tuck underneath you. And as you land the upper back on the floor, lengthen the back of the skull away from the back of your neck. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill your whole body. And as you exhale, allow the weight of the body to drop. Let gravity take you. And again, like that, big breath in. There's a buoyancy, a sense of rising on inhale, and a big releasing, a softening on exhale. One more time, breathe in and out. And then let your breath go. So the body gets to rest, even the breath gets to rest. As you settle into the ground, Shavasana. To rest as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me.